Is it morning or afternoon?
Morning, it's still morning. It's still morning.
All right, let's just. All right.
Should we say like a line, more like a line, like a straight line, or? Okay.
Good. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. My name is Dr. Ana Avendaño, and I have the honor of serving as the Executive Director of El Concilio of San Mateo County. We're here today to address a critical issue affecting families and businesses across California, the rising energy costs that are placing a heavy burden on our communities. That's why we welcome SB 254, a bold and comprehensive bill designed to lower energy costs, safeguard consumers, and accelerate our transition to a clean energy future. This legislation is not just about reducing bills, but it's about building a sustainable, inclusive economy where every Californian has the opportunity to thrive. Numbers can tell you that utility rates have gone up. They can show you that electricity, water, and gas costs are eating up a larger share of household budgets. But behind those numbers are real families, our neighbors, who are making impossible choices. Our team at El Concilio works with residents on a daily basis to seek assistance with their utility bills, and we connect them to utility assistance programs, help them navigate complicated applications, and make sure that they understand their rights and options. I would like for you all to meet today one of our neighbors, Maria Lorenzo.
Maria, vente. Hi, ready? Hi, good morning. My name is Aurelio Wizard. I working here in El Concilio for the last 10 years, helping families to enroll in several programs like HEAP program, CARE program to reduce the electricity and the cost for the gas in the families. Today here is one customer, for long time customer for El Concilio, Maria Lorenzo. María, si quieres hablar un poquito de ti, tu nombre, dónde vives.
Pues me llamo María Lorenzo.
Yes.
Vivo aquí en la Cuarta Avenida por 17 o 18 años.
Hi, my name is Maria Lorenzo. I live here in the community for the last 70 years, here in North Fairbanks. María, María, si nos puedes decir un poquito de tu costo de electricidad, cómo era antes y cómo es ahora.
Pues el costo de la electricidad ha subido mucho, porque antes eran 50, 100 dólares, 80. Ahorita ya subió mucho y entonces uno tiene que ver ahí, o paga la renta o la luz, pero por pagos, porque si no lo corren.
Okay, I can see the difference because before I was paying $50 or $100 for my electricity bill, and now it's high, and now I have to choose if I pay my rent to the landlord or pay the electricity. Algo más, María, por ejemplo, creo que fuiste beneficiada con un aire acondicionado, ¿nos puedes decir un poquito?
Oh, sí, me dieron un aire ¿cómo se llama?
Un aire acondicionado.
Ajá. Y pues no se puede colocar porque sale mucha luz.
Okay, here through the El Concilio, I had the opportunity to get AC, air condition, and then, but it's impossible to connect it because now my electricity bill is high. María, you wanted to talk, si quieres hablar un poquito de tu trabajo, cuántas horas tienes que trabajar para en orden de pagar la electricidad o la renta.
Sí, pues el trabajo ha bajado y se trabajan como 6 horas, 5, y pues no se puede pagar mucho.
Okay. Lastly, I work in only 6 or 5 hours, and it's only that's what I had to pay the rent and the electricity.
Yeah.
María, ¿algo más que quieras compartir? ¿Algo personal que tú quieras decir o comunicarle al senador, a las personas que están aquí con nosotros? ¿Algo que tú quieras compartir como último? Ayuda, beneficio.
Oh, sí, pues ya ve que no tenemos ayuda de nada. Tenemos que trabajar en cada poquito para sobrevivir.
Okay, we had to work and in order to live here in the Bay Area. And thank you all for being here. And now is Senator Becker with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for being here today. The electricity rates are too damn high. That's the issue that I hear constantly from residents. People are hurting. We just heard from Maria about having to make the decision between paying her rent or paying her rising utility bill. And now we have a historic opportunity, a really once in a generation opportunity to do something about it. Let's talk about rates. California's electricity rates are among the highest in the country. In fact, on average, residential rates are about double what other people are paying. Over the last 10 years, residential rates have gone up 82% for SDG&E customers down south, 90% for Southern California Edison customers, and right here, 110% increase for PG&E customers in the last 10 years, 50% over the last 3 years. High electricity bills are contributing to this affordability crisis. 1/3 of care customers are behind in paying their bills for energy. And this has got to stop. That's why I introduced SB 254, the California Electricity Modernization and Affordability Act. I've done this with the support of our Senate leadership and our Senate Affordability Working Group. And this is the legislature's most ambitious effort in years to rein in rising costs, and has the potential to save consumers billions of dollars annually. There's no silver single bullet for reducing electricity rates. The issues are complex. Our utilities do have to make investments to limit wildfire risk, to deliver power to new homes and new businesses, and we want to keep leading the world. We have to, especially now, lead the world in the fight against climate change. But this must be done in a way that does not jack up rates and make them unaffordable. My bill tackles this problem with a number of different provisions. And we'll hear about that from some of our guests too. I'll mention a few of them. First, it makes changes to the climate dividend. Under this bill, we'll be returning over $1.5 billion from our climate dividend directly to customers. And we're going to change when that's delivered. So they're going to get it during those summer months when it's hottest, when they need it the most. And we're going to make sure that our most low-income customers, those who are under care and fair programs, get the most amount of that climate credit. This bill also creates something called the Power Fund. It's a mechanism that we can use non-ratepayer funds from the general fund to pay for public purpose programs like utility programs and other programs or wildfire spending, so we can take those out of rates. Right now we put everything into rates, which is one of the reasons it has such an effect on people. But then we have to have and really change the way we do the rate making process itself. This bill has 3 provisions. The first provision requires the PUC to provide public justification. Public justification every time it raises rates, to provide that public justification. Second, it makes sure the utilities and the PUC, our Public Utilities Commission, that our PUC has to provide clear information of the profits utilities are getting, the profits utilities are earning, and where it is coming from. They need to raise capital to support a growing grid, but it has to be a fair return, just and reasonable, not excessive. The third provision requires that they submit at least one rate case that is below the cost of inflation. We've had all these rate increases that are above the cost of inflation. This will make it one rate case that's below the cost of inflation. And then we make sure they do financing of infrastructure in a way that most benefits ratepayers. It requires them to finance $15 billion, is what they call securitization. So there's no return on equity on those profits. So this is an opportunity that's very rare for us. Usually you do kind of less, we get less if we spend less. This actually, we can get the same thing for the, we can lower the price and get the same thing. So not surprising utilities hate this bill. Why? Well, they like to spend money. Every dollar normally that they spend is guaranteed a 10 to 15 cent return for every dollar they spend. It's guaranteed profit. And the three biggest investor-owned utilities are saying they're going to spend $90 billion. These are big numbers, $90 billion on capital investments over the next 4 years. And they don't like the idea that some of that spending, and that this bill threatens that profit. But we have to focus on our ratepayers, not on utility profits. And as I said earlier, this bill will save consumers billions of dollars every year. So in spite of utilities' protests, we have to pass this bill. We have to pass this bill. I'd like to welcome some other folks up here to speak about that, and I'd like to close. I'll come back and close, but first we have Sarah Hubbard. Sarah is the Executive Director of Sustainable San Mateo County, which is focused on economy, environment, and social equity here in San Mateo County. Their advocacy, education, and innovation helps San Mateo be a leader in energy, environment, and sustainability. I just want to say again, thank you to El Concilio for hosting us. Thank you to Maria for ending her voice, being the face of a ratepayer. I could have brought my wife here, by the way. She complains about these rates all the time, too. But Maria being the face of ratepayers, and there's hundreds of thousands of Marias across my district concerned about rising rates. Let me first bring up Sarah Hubbard. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Senator Becker. It's my pleasure to be here. Sustainable San Mateo County is an organization that really works at the intersection of climate change and in the environment, the economy, and social equity, tracking key sustainability metrics, highlighting solutions, and helping communities take informed action. SB 254 is important to our work because affordable, reliable electricity underpins progress in all three areas. It enables cleaner energy use to protect the environment, supports economic stability for households and businesses, and ensures that the benefits of our transition to a low-carbon future are shared equitably across San Mateo County. At SSMC, we track our county's progress toward meeting its climate goals through key metrics like clean energy adoption, greenhouse gas emissions, and equitable access to resources. Our sustainability dashboard makes it really clear. We can't meet our climate goals without affordable electricity. Thanks to Peninsula Clean Energy, nearly every San Mateo County household now enjoys cleaner electricity, power that's reduced greenhouse gas emissions by 97% since 2016. Now, our path to climate action includes replacing gas home appliances for electric ones and transitioning from gas cars to EVs. Currently, 64% of homes in San Mateo County are heated with gas furnaces, and only 2% of registered vehicles are EVs. The transition is a challenge, but we're making consistent progress. Since 2014, the percent of homes using electric heating has increased in nearly every city in San Mateo County, and the number of EVs per 100 people is 3 times what it was in 2020. If electricity costs continue to climb at the pace we've seen over the past decade, we risk slowing down progress on building electrification, EV adoption, and clean energy integration. That would mean both higher emissions and wider equity gaps. SB 254 supports local sustainability and equity by increasing climate dividend credits to customers and adding the Power Fund. SB 254 lowers costs and ensures families across San Mateo County, especially those in equity priority communities, won't be priced out of beneficial electrification. The bill's financing and permitting reforms help get clean energy projects built faster and more cost-effectively, supporting our county's climate action plans and the state's SB 100 goal of 100% clean electricity. By requiring transparency on rate increases and profits, SB 254 ensures residents can see how decisions affect their bills and have confidence that the costs are being managed responsibly. affordable electricity is not just a family budget issue. It's the foundation for sustainable communities. When power is affordable, more households can switch to clean energy, cities can accelerate climate-friendly projects, and benefits of a healthy and the benefits of a healthy, resilient future are shared more equitably. SB 254 gives us the tools to keep San Mateo County on track toward our climate progress while protecting the people and neighborhoods most at risk of being left behind. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. The reason we're here today is this is going to be a big fight in Sacramento. When we get back on the 18th of August, we have 1 month to get everything passed, all the redistricting stuff, cap and trade reauthorization. We have a lot on our plate, and we have to make sure that this bill does not fall through the cracks. We have to make sure that all residents across the Bay Area, and I'm proud to chair the Bay Area Caucus, that all residents across the Bay Area lift up their voices to say, we need to lower rates, we need this bill, we need to modernize the way that we do electricity rates. But we can't do that without our local support. I want to thank Peninsula Clean Energy's here, Silicon Valley Clean Energy's here, both doing a fantastic job. Thank you, Mike, thank you, Bina, for being here. And we can't do it without our San Mateo County Board of Supervisors and their support. I'm really proud to introduce my very good friend, and honestly, one of my mentors when I first got involved in politics when she was on East Palo Alto City Council, now on the San Mateo County Board of Supervisors. Please welcome Lisa Gaucher.
Thank you, Supervisor Becker. I'm trying to do this and keep my dress down. I don't want to have a moment. My name is Lisa Gaucher, as you have heard. I am a proud resident of San Mateo County and excited to be one of the newest members to the San Mateo County Board of Supervisors, just being in office a little bit like 7 months. While I was on the campaign trail, I realized what I heard the most often is that things were just too high, rents included, and utilities. Often we were thinking about how are the residents going to pay for rent, childcare, food, when wages are stagnant and inflation is increasing at an alarming rate. Let's just be honest. The rents are just too damn high, but utilities are just as high and getting up there. That is why I'm excited about Senator Becker's SB 254. It takes a practical approach to lowering state utility bills. This is a far-reaching bill, but the aspect I'm most excited about is that this bill would realign our state's utility rebates primarily toward low-income ratepayers, like my constituents here in North Fair Oaks. Every dollar residents can save on utility costs can be redirected towards something more important, like rent, childcare, food, and other things. The important thing that keeps family safe and productive. Thank you again, Senator Becker, for championing this bill for Californians and I'm standing right here beside you as we fight for California families, because California families matter.
All right. Thank you, Supervisor Gaucher. We could not do this without the support of folks here in San Mateo County. And San Mateo County, I do want to say, San Mateo County is warming at twice the rate of the rest of the state. Because of global warming, we have less fog, so our temperatures are rising at twice the rate. So we are most at risk for warming, we're most at risk for sea level rise. And so all these climate issues are really just front of mind and in some ways really existential for San Mateo County. So thank you again, Supervisor Gaucher. Now my great pleasure to introduce some folks from Actera. Actera is one of our really leading environmental groups for years here in the Bay Area. And first we got Dennis Murphy, who's a senior manager for water and policy, longtime friend, and focuses on addressing climate change in Silicon Valley for beyond. I think Wendy's going to join us as well, and we'll ask them to give some remarks. Please, welcome. Thank you.
Hi, yes, I'm Dennis Murphy, Senior Manager for Policy at Actera.
I'm Wendy Cho. I'm Senior Manager for Coalitions and Projects at Actera.
We work together a lot, so it was just natural to double team this. We support Senator Becker's SB 254 as it aligns with our guiding motto of action for a healthy planet. SB 254 contains a number of administrative and regulatory changes, a whole lot of them actually, that will improve the lives and health and well-being of all Californians. Your turn.
All right. All right.
Yeah, here it is.
Okay. It restrains electrical rate costs, especially to lower income customers, while improving wildfire safety and clean energy infrastructure development, which is so key for our state. It establishes new authorities to more closely monitor construction projects. It addresses a number of issues that have driven California electrical rates and investor-owned utility profits to such unacceptable highs. It promotes public financing and ownership of transmission that will result in reduced costs to consumers as we move away from fossil fuel power towards an all-electric future with things like heat pumps and electric vehicles, which we so sorely need.
The devil is active in the details of energy infrastructure, and the level of complexity is high. Senator Josh Becker and his staff have taken on many ambitious reforms over how we pay for, generate, and transmit and consume electrical power in California. Actera is committed to investigate, understand, and support Rule of Three, progressive power policies, and continue to act for a healthy planet.
Thanks so much for having us, and we're so happy to support 254. Thank you.
Again, I want to thank everyone for coming today, really on short notice to make this happen, because as we said, the utilities hate this bill. They do not want this bill to pass. You're probably already seeing online ads about this, and this is going to be a big fight. It's a historic opportunity, and I'm just so glad to have to be here at El Concilio, to have honored to have ratepayers here to speak about what is that real impact, because that's what this is all about. When people like Maria are having to choose between paying their rent or paying their utility bill, we have a problem. And it's incumbent on us to step up. That's what we're trying to do here today. I'd like to invite on any closing remarks from you.
No, just thank you, Senator Josh Becker, and everyone for coming to El Concilio. We see this issue on a daily basis, especially our team that meets one-on-one with many other ratepayers, and they try to do their best navigating the different complexities related to the utility bills and just the increases in their bills. Just like Maria, we heard from Maria, right, making those decisions. And we try to be there with them alongside. And so this bill will just really be supportive of those types of programs and services that we're providing on a daily basis. So just thank you again for coming.
Thank you. Just last piece, technically about the bill, as I mentioned, redoing the climate credit. That means over $1.6 billion going back to ratepayers, getting it at the time of year when they need it most, getting the most needy to get the highest benefit from that, but everybody will benefit from it. And then saving about $1.3 billion a year from all the securitization, the public financing, other things that people talked about. Any quick questions? Any closing questions? All right, well, thank everyone for being here. Thanks to my team for pulling this off. Thank you.
Thank you.